Unlicensed NES games get a bad rap regardless of the game. Why? Is it because they aren't published or licensed by Nintendo? While most unlicensed games do fall into the bad category, there are some that do stand out as being decent to play. While not up to Super Mario or Legend of Zelda quality, these games do stand out as being at least decent or having a short, fun playthrough. These are going to be the top 5 unlicensed NES games that are decent to play. The Maxi 15-1 game cartridge was developed by American Video Entertainment and is a compilation of games that were published by them. Their total of games on the cartridge is, as you would guess, 15, and for around $50, this is a steal considering that this cartridge has the game Chiller in it. There are 2 different versions of this cart, and the only notable difference are 2 games and the color of the menu. One cart will have Sachin's games, that is Pyramid and Double Strike, which is more commonly found in North America, while the other cart will have those games replaced with Blackjack and Death Race, more commonly found in Australia. The only reason that the 2 games were replaced is because the contract did not allow Sachin games to be on multi-carts. Still, out of 15 games, at least one of them has to be good, right? Honestly, Chiller is fun to play if you have the zapper to do it, or you can play with the NES controller. Tiles of Fate is Mahjong, and I like Mahjong. While not all games are the best, some of the games are at least playable, and if you're still not convinced, then just pick it up for the sole fact that Chiller is on it. Dudes with Attitude is honestly a pretty fun game to play if you enjoy puzzle games. Released back in 1990 by American Video Entertainment, you are Dudes with Attitude. Well, at least a smiley face that looks like it, right? The focus of the game is for you to find the pirate treasure for yourself, and you can choose between 6 different characters, which really doesn't have any attributes that help the game other than cosmetic. While there isn't anything impressive in terms of graphics and sound, the puzzle aspect is actually interesting. The object of the game is to clear the screen of colors while dodging enemies along the way. Hitting different color boxes and changing colors will allow you to clear that color from the screen. There is a bit of a learning curve even with the manual helping out. Levels do increase in difficulty and there will be gamer rage because of the NES hard difficulty later on. One of the features that make this game stand out is that you can create your own levels and save them to a password for other people to play them. This game is sorely looked over, and if you have the patience and like puzzles, then this game can be quite a bit of fun. B-52 was developed by Camerica and involves you, B-52, tasked with saving the Queen and colony from utter extinction. At the start of the game is where you will meet death itself. You have to choose from 1 or 2 doors to go through, and neither of them is easier than the other, but will let you fly from left to right or right to left at the beginning of the stage. Sound confusing? The object of the game is for you to collect nectar from flowers around the field, all while dodging flying insects, sprinklers, and spiders. You have to be quick getting the nectar from the flowers, returning it to the hive, or the ants will come and steal the honey that you have collected so far. This game can get hard real fast, and the fact that you're bouncing all over the place from hitting flowers at full speed or sprinklers shooting water in random patterns, I for one have never beaten this game to this date, but the one thing that stands out the most is the controls. They're very fluid to the point of slippery, and it really makes it seem like you're flying as a bee, if that makes any sense. That is the good and bad with the game. You can get power-ups from shooting flying insects that will allow you to shoot more, triple shot, or have a force field, and that can make the game a little easier. The graphics for this unlicensed game is actually pretty good, and if you want a challenge and really want to experience NES hard, this is the game for you. Big Nose The Caveman was released in 1991 by Camerica, is almost a clone of Adventure Islands of sorts. You are Big Nose the Caveman, and you chase your dinner through many different levels of the island. Along the way, you will collect bones that will be useful in shops that will allow you to upgrade your shots or club. Unfortunately, if you are hit by anything, then you lose your upgrades and you die in one hit, unless you have collected stones that give you one extra hit point. I love the graphics in this game, and the music is just cheerful as if Big Nose has no idea what terror is lurking around the corner. Honestly, this game is just fun to play, and there really isn't much of a learning curve here, so this one is all about skill and repetition. Robodemons was released in 1989 by Color Dreams, who were formerly Wisdom Tree, a developer solely intent on publishing Christian-based games. This game gets terrible reviews, and honestly, it's sad to know that it does. You star as an unnamed hero that goes to destroy the robotic demon army being made by the Demon King Kull. This game contains some pretty heavy occult and hellish imagery, as very contrast to what the developer used to make. There are 7 levels to complete, and they aren't that hard to beat, that is, until you get to the bosses of the game, especially the final boss of the game. On each level, you have to collect a certain amount of keys to unlock the door leading deeper into hell. And one thing to note is that if you kill any enemy before you die, these enemies will not appear in any level upon restarting. Reaching the final stage doesn't take too long, but the final boss will have you raging all the way. In between levels, there are flying stages where you need to rescue the souls from being captured from the enemies. The graphics are interesting to say the least, but the music is forgettable and sounds like Atari 2600 games. Honestly, this is a game that needs to be played just for the sole purpose of seeing the imagery. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and if you're new to the channel, check out the playlist on the right to see more adventures, and if you haven't seen my latest video, check it out on the left. Hope to see you guys on the next adventure.